Edition of In Focus. I'm your host, Melinda Zosh. This morning, we're putting the spotlight on an upcoming Four Pals production. It's called Miles from Home, A Family's Road to Hope and Healing, and it's written by Colby, directed by Thomas Lester. And the show debuts on Thursday, May 12th at 7 p.m. at the Bluefield Arts Center. Tickets for that show are $20. Then there's a dinner show coming up. You have a couple date options here. Friday, May 13th, Saturday, May 14th, and also on Friday, May 20th and Saturday, May 21st. That dinner starts at 6:15 p.m. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. And tickets for the dinner show are $35, and you can make reservations. We have a phone number there for you. So get a pen and paper handy. We'll run this throughout the show, but I'll mention it now off the top. It's 304-589-0339. So joining me now on set, Colby. You're well known in this community. You're an excellent writer, and you wrote this play.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having us.
Always good to have you here,
Supporting the arts.
Of course.
We really appreciate you.
Of course, yeah. Appreciate you being here and sharing some information about your work with our viewers. Also joining us now is Braden Nunn, and Braden, you play Miles in the show.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you for joining us this morning as well. And Thomas Lester, you're the director of the show.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed it.
Wonderful. Well, we're excited to share some more information with our viewers. I'll start with you. What is this production, this show, all about?
This, to me, this show is about removing the shame of addiction. I come from a family, who has a person addicted, and we've dealt with this for a long time. And when you have a family member who's addicted to drugs, there's a shame, and sometimes, like I told you, it's self-imposed.
Yeah.
Well, addiction is a disease. We have to remove the shame. And in this play, like most families across America, you try anything to help the ones you love who are addicted to drugs. You try tough love, like Addie Mae Cantrell does in the show. You try tender love, like Vernadine does in the show. And sometimes you don't even know what to do. Sometimes you pray and pray and pray, and hopefully one day, that person will want to change themselves and get the help they need. But we want to remove the shame from talking about it, it shouldn't be a badge of shame.
And how do you think the show might help remove some of that shame or stigma?
Well, if you come to the show and you're expecting us to beat you over the head with the message, you're totally wrong. That's not our recipe. Our recipe is bitter pills are easier to swallow with a dose of humor. This show takes place in Smut-Eye, Alabama, in a mobile home park called the Bottom Rock Elite Mobile Home Park. The Bottom Rock Elite Mobile Home Park. Okay. And you see how this family deals with this family member who is addicted. And we tell it in a funny fashion. The show's very funny.
Your shows are funny. They tend to be funny.
But we sneak a little message in on you now.
So tell us about the role of Miles, and then I'll ask Braden more about how he prepared for his role. But who is Miles?
Miles represents every grandchild who's being taken care of by their grandmother because the parent is addicted or away or incarcerated. There's a generation gap between the grandparent and the grandchild. And in this show, we kind of explore that too. But he's every child who's been left behind by addiction, by whatever reason that's taken the parent from the home. And it happens all across America.
Yes.
Every day.
Right. In our local communities and, like you said, nationwide. So, Braden, you play the role of Miles. How would you describe Miles? What type of person is he?
Well, he's wise, very wise, and he's far beyond his years. He knows a lot, and
yeah. So it sounds like he is quite knowledgeable from what you were saying and what Vane was saying. How did you get ready to prepare to play the role of Miles, to go from who you are as Braden to becoming who Miles is?
Well, I practiced a lot.
I bet.
And I thought to myself, you know, how's Miles gonna be at, you know, parts of the show, like when my mama's coming home from when she's been out for 3 months. And I just thought of how he would be and how he would react to when his mama comes home from where she's been.
Right, and after being gone for a long time, like you said. Well, it sounds like you're wise beyond your years to prepare for that role as well. So, Thomas, you're the director of the show. What's it been like directing this particular show that Vane has written?
It's been wonderful. It's always a pleasure to take Vane's written word and bring it to the stage, because he's a very gifted writer, and it's fun to take these characters. And it's a small cast, but it was some difficult roles to really feel at first. I was afraid, because especially we had some, especially with finding the right child actor to play that. And then here comes Braden, and he just blew us away. He really is much wiser than, and he really lights up the stage. I believe when people leave, they're going to fall in love with him. They'll be talking about him after this play's over. They're going to really, really like him, because I think he just lights up the stage. Certain people just have, when they're on the stage, you just want to watch them, and I think he's one of those people.
So how many cast members are in this play?
There's just 4.
4.
There's 4, and there's a special guest at the end.
Ooh.
But there's a special guest that shows up, but there's 4. There's the grandmother, her sister, there's Miles, and there's Miles' mother.
And we're going to hear from more of those cast members in just a bit.
And they're wonderful, too.
Can you reveal who the special character is, or is it a secret?
It's sort of a secret. We
I'll
want to
give
show
you a hint.
Okay.
This special character has a WVVA connection.
Oh! Some of you might know that. Now, those at home are thinking, now, who is it? It must be an on-air person, maybe? That's all we're going to say.
That's all we're going to say.
Until you find out later on. Maybe we'll interview her.
But you were talking about, you were asking him, you know, how he prepared and everything. This character has to grow up so fast. And, you know, once I saw him on stage, I thought to myself, oh, my God. Kids are having to do this every day, and it really didn't hit me until I, you know, saw, you know, some of the parts that he's in, where he has to become the man of the house at, what, 11 years old?
Yeah, I was going to ask, how old is the character of Miles? And Braden, how old are you?
I'm 10, and Miles is 11, 12, 13, somewhere around my age.
Yeah.
Basically my age.
It's about his age, yes.
And what's been for you, Braden, the most rewarding thing about becoming Miles? What's been the best part of becoming this character of Miles?
Well, it's all really good. I love it. It's the first play I've ever been in, and I absolutely love it. I mean, well, that's a good thing. It's his first play. It sounds like he's going to continue with it.
That's a good thing. I think he will. I think he will continue this, because I can see that he has a great love for it.
Yes, and a great future.
Yeah, I think he will.
And Thomas, based on what Vane was saying about, you know, this message of grandparents raising grandkids and the generational gap, what do you think the audience can take away from this play?
I think, like Vane said, there's no shame, but I think people will see themselves in this. Like you said, there's always going to be, there are people that are going through this at the moment. And I hope by the end they come away with it with a hope that there is a light, that no matter how dark it gets and how bad it gets, that at the end there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that you can get through this. I hope that's what I hope people come away from it.
And Vane, what message do you hope that those in the audience take away?
Much the same as Thomas was saying, you know, because, you know, my family member, you know, came home again. And things have been, you know, well, for a few years. And you take it one day at a time.
It's true. Yep.
Yes.
That's a message for all of us, I think, in any situation. Just take it little bits and pieces at a time.
Yes.
Well, we do have to take a quick break. We have to talk to more of the cast members. We'll have that on the other side of this break. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to this edition of In Focus. This morning, we've been putting the spotlight on an upcoming Four Pals production called Miles from Home. It's about a family's road to hope and healing, written by Vane Colby, who you just heard from, directed by Thomas Lester, who you also just heard from, and the main character, Braden Nunn. This is a cast of 4 people, as we heard. Joining me now, Karen Harvey. Thank you for being here. Always good to have you on set, Karen.
Thank you for having me.
And Cindy, it's good to have you as well, Cindy Hedrick. And ladies, I'll start with you, Karen. Tell us who you play.
I play Addie Mae Cantrell. She is Miles' grandmother, and she is raising him while the daughter Macy is in rehab. So she's...
what's it been like preparing for this role?
Well, I go to the Walmart. No, it's been actually, it's been a lot of really having to go inside and put myself in that position of, I don't have children. I don't have grandchildren. For this to be put on someone my age, I can really understand the woman's trials, and she wants to do the best she can, and yet she's feeling she only has so much to give.
I bet a lot of people could relate to that feeling too. And Cindy, tell us more about who you play and more about your character.
I am Bernadine Castleberry. I am the sister to Addie Mae, and I'm the aunt to Miles and his mother Macy. And again, trying to prepare to learn the accent from Alabama. So just kind of watched as many videos as I could and et cetera to try to get that down.
Right, get the southern twang,
The
just
southern
right,
twang.
the deep southern twang.
The deep southern twang.
So, Karen, for you, what has been the most rewarding part and also challenging part about your role and preparing for your character?
I'll take the challenging first. This is unlike any other character I've played before, which I embrace, which I enjoy, but it is different. I have to get into a totally different headspace and try to imagine someone else's life and portray that in a respectful, true way.
Right, because as you said, you're not a mom or a grandma, so
Right.
that's been totally new for you to prepare as well. What about the rewarding parts of getting ready for this show in particular?
Well, it's always such a pleasure to work with Four Pals. The ensemble environment, everybody pulls together. We have ideas. We can discuss it with the director. He will tell us no, but that's okay. Sometimes he says yes.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
But it's that kind of open give and take.
Yeah.
We're free to make comments on the set if we want, while Jim Jenks is building another incredible,
Yes, he is.
incredible set. So it's just such a wonderful creative give and take. That's what I really enjoy the most.
And Cindy, what about you? What's been the best part about preparing for your role and also some of the challenges that you've had to overcome in this particular play?
I agree with Karen that the best part is always, it's like family when we're with Four Pals. And I'm always excited when I hear that Vane has written another production, and getting to have Thomas direct it, and with Skip being involved also.
Yes, Skip Crane.
It is, yes, Skip Crane. It is just like family. And it was so nice to get to have two new people this time with Tina and Braden. And Tina, you will see, has so much talent. You'll see that. And Braden, who's just, he's a doll.
Yeah,
He
and
has
it's his first show, he said.
It is his first show. He
how
is
exciting.
amazing. Yes.
How do you all just like, how have you learned and grown as a cast working with this particular group of people, Karen?
Well, that's a good question. I think, again, learning a much different accent than we've done before, and we're all trying to sound alike. I think we look like a family.
I think we do too.
So there's that, but trying to get the rhythms of each other.
Mercy.
And that's been, and we play off each other a lot, and they're two very different people. So we're still working on that a bit. We'll get that, but it's interesting to explore.
And Cindy, what about you? How have you grown working with this particular group of people?
Like Karen said, it's just amazing trying to weave through it, as she said, and to bounce off of each other. And there's been lots of laughter. We've had a lot of good times at the practice. And this is my second time of being Karen's sister. So
What was
feel
the
like we're-
previous role?
A house divided, and she slapped me in the face.
I did. I tried to do that in this one, but she wouldn't let me.
That would have been off script, huh?
That would have been off script, yes. But it is. It's just, like I said, it's just a close-knit family. And we are a family in this. and it's been good.
And Karen, what about the message that Vane was talking about addiction and families in southern West Virginia, nationwide, struggling with family members who are battling addiction, and also the generational gap of grandparents or even great-grandparents raising younger children?
Well, I think what we see is this is happening to someone virtually everyone knows. Everyone knows someone going through this, or they have a family member or a friend. It touches everyone's lives. And Vane's point that we've got to get past the shame to be able to face it and deal with it, I think, humanizes the problem, and just the fact that we're not alone.
And Cindy, how do you think that Vane's play helps convey that message of what Karen was just saying about, like, we're not alone and destigmatizing addiction and talking about it?
One of the things I try to tell some of the people who are asking at work, especially so that they would know if they wanted to come or not, was that I told them, I said, some will laugh, some will cry, and for some it'll hit home. But it's a thing that with the way Vane writes it is the whole ending, the beginning, and then when it gets to the end is hope. That's it. And because it is something that is happening everywhere, I think this will be a great story for those that want to come. I had one lady that said she wasn't sure if she could come because it did hit home. And I told her, I said, there's going to be way more comedy than there is the dark and the deep. And so I hope everyone will come, even if it is in your family, because I do think that the message of hope is going to far outweigh anything that would be just deep and dark.
And like Vane was saying, you can convey a serious message by using humor and like relating to the human spirit and things like that.
Yes.
So, Karen, what message do you hope that those who come out and watch the play, that they take away at the end of the show, maybe even a couple days later, it might sink in with them more. What do you hope that they take away from the entire performance?
I hope they see that we're all in this. Everyone touches this in their lives, and we're not alone. We're not alone.
And Cindy, what about you? What do you hope that those who watch take away from it?
Laughter is the best medicine. It really is. And so many people have, been affected by this, and that just to be able to see so many different ways to get through it, and the biggest one, of course, is just laugh your way through it. And that's a whole lot better than the sadness side of it. And there can be great successes out of it. I really do. We've seen it, and so we hope that for everyone else that maybe is living this right now, we hope they have the great success at the end also.
And Karen, like you said, the Four Pals production, they put on terrific shows in this community.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. It's a great group of talented people right here in Bluefield.
Yes.
All right, well, we have to take a quick break. We have more cast members to talk to. We'll be right back after this. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to this edition of In Focus this morning. We've been talking about an upcoming Four Pals production called Miles from Home, A Family's Road to Hope and Healing. It's written by Vane, Colby, directed by Thomas Lester. We heard from them earlier, and now we're going to hear from some more cast members. Joining us now, Tina Badham. Tina, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And also Felicia Holcomb, who works here at sales at WVVA. So thank you for being here.
You're very welcome.
So Tina, I'll start with you. Tell us about your character.
So I play Macy Cantrell. I am the mother of Miles Cantrell. So I am the mother that is struggling with addiction.
So what's it been like preparing to play for that role of someone who is struggling and battling that addiction?
It's definitely a challenge. I think to want to represent it in the right way and the right light, that's definitely been a bit of a challenge. But as Vane said earlier, I'll kind of mirror that. Everyone knows someone. Like, that's touched everyone's lives somewhere. So there's definitely some personal things that I've been able to draw from there. So,
how did you go about preparing to play someone who is addicted specifically? Did you read a book? Did you watch a movie? What did you do to get ready for this particular role?
Honestly, mostly just from personal experience, from a family member of my own. I think, like Vane said, we all have those examples. So I think kind of preparing for that, and like I said, trying to do it in the best, most correct light. That's what I've been doing, basically.
Okay. And that's all great advice, too, is talking to people and just like absorbing what they're saying, too. Felicia, we're going to leave your role a mystery. I'm not going to disclose who you're playing. You're going to have to come and watch the show to find out who Felicia plays. But tell us more about Vane's show and why do you think it is important? He's conveying a message of addiction and families struggling with that. Family member who is just trying to get through addiction. Why do you think his play is important?
I think it shows that you can overcome addiction and that, you know, there's hope.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, it's a great play. Macy does a terrific job. And so, yes.
So tell us also, Tina, about some of the challenges that you've faced getting ready for this particular role, but also some of the rewards and maybe how you've grown from the cast members as well.
Yeah, so I think definitely the challenge. I mean, anytime that you're preparing for a role that is not necessarily mirroring your own life, it is a bit of a challenge. I mean, I've had to really dig deep and find that part of myself to bring out, you know. I think rewards, I can kind of go back to what Karen was saying earlier and just talk about how wonderful this cast is. It has been amazing to watch this show come from meeting everybody the first day, and this being my first 4 Pals production, I'm really excited to be a part of it, you know, and to kind of see how that's molded from beginning to end. So.
And Tina, what do you hope that the audience and those watching take away from it? As Cindy was mentioning, there's some humor. It's all not so dark and gloomy.
Absolutely.
There's some humor along with the message. What do you hope that those who watch the play take away from it at the end of the day?
I think just that message of hope, you know, and kind of looking at things from a perspective of, you know, we can definitely talk about the bad things and the dark things in life, but we can find humor in it and also be able to provide people hope through that. So I think that's what I hope for.
And Felicia, what about you? What do you hope the audience takes away and those who are watching take away from Vane's production?
Just again, you know, obviously the hope is basically what it's surrounded on. And that you can do great things, you know, you can overcome, like I said, addiction, and you can have the greatest life out there and just explore new things. And it's just, you're gonna feel so revived after leaving this play. And there's so many emotions that you're gonna have. And it's just worth coming to. I can't stress it enough to just come and see this play.
Yeah, definitely. We have some more information for our viewers in case you missed it earlier on the dates of the play. It debuts on Thursday, May 12th at 7 p.m. at the Bluefield Arts Center. Tickets for that show are $20. Then there's a dinner show coming up on Friday, May 13th, also Saturday the 14th. If you can't make those shows, there's 2 more opportunities coming up on Friday, May 20th and Saturday, May 21st. Those are dinner shows. They start at 6:15 in the evening, and the show itself starts at 7:30 p.m., but you can get there ahead of time, get your dinner early. Tickets for the dinner show are $35, and you can make reservations by calling 304-589-0339. Again, that number is 304-589-0339. Tina, what's it also been like working with Braden and playing the role alongside him as well?
It's been great. He is such a talented young man, and I can't stress this enough. Like, he is absolutely going to steal everybody's heart. He is so amazing, and honestly, we took up really well together. His mom and I have become friends.
That's
like
awesome.
it's been a very family-oriented thing all around. So I'm very, very excited for, you know, getting to work with him, especially for his first play ever. That's super exciting.
Yeah, that is really exciting.
Yeah. Super talented cast, though.
Can't wait to see the show. It sounds like a great group of people. Tina, how have the rehearsals been going? How often have you all been rehearsing to get ready for this particular show?
We typically rehearse 3 days a week, sometimes 4. You know, obviously, as the show comes closer, we start doing some more dress rehearsals. That's going to pick up. But it's been easy. I mean, as far as getting in the groove with everyone, it's been really great. I've certainly enjoyed that process and can't wait for everybody to see the finished product.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're so excited.
Yeah.
Felicia, what's been your favorite part of like watching everyone get ready to step into their roles as they hit the main stage?
Oh, just watching, well, I've never worked with Tina. I have worked with Karen, but it's just great seeing everyone evolve. One week you're just thinking, how are we going to get through all this? And then the next week it's like, unbelievable. It's just beautiful. And so it's been great just getting to meet the new cast members and watching them grow.
Right, and Felicia, why do you think it's important to have a show like this right here in the Bluefield area, in our community and in our backyard?
Well, it hits home to a lot of people here. And it's also something, it's entertainment. It's great for people to come out, and with COVID, everybody was home, and this is a great experience that you really just don't want to miss.
Yeah, exactly. Like she said, see, you are a salesperson. You don't want to miss this. All right. So just like, come on out. There's something for everyone out here. I love it. Felicia just lights up the room too. I love this woman. Tina, we're almost out of time here, but quickly, any concluding thoughts for our viewers?
Oh, just come see the show. Come support the local arts and watch a great cast put on a great show. Yeah.
All right, you summed it up, Tina. I love it. That's wonderful. All right, well, we've run out of time for this edition of In Focus, but the show is about people and events in the two Virginias. If you have an idea for an upcoming segment, you can send me an email to mzosh, M-Z-O-S-H at WVVA.com. Looking forward to hearing from you. Ladies, thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, we hope you all have a great day.